I'm Tarrant.
And I'm Stella, and this is Meeple University. What to expect from Root, both the base game and the Riverfolk expansion.
Released in 2018, Root is an asymmetrical war game set in the woodlands and starring cute woodland critters. It was designed by Cole Worley and published by Leader Games.
The base game plays 2 to 4 players with an estimated duration of 60 to 90 minutes. With the expansion, the game plays up to 6 players and includes solo and cooperative modes.
From a complexity standpoint, this game is heavy on rules, in large part due to the asymmetrical player powers, but it has medium difficulty gameplay once you know the rules. In the game, players play as different woodland factions attempting to assert their dominance over the map. At its core, Root is a war game. Players will build up garrisons of warriors, build buildings to provide ongoing income or points, and battle against other players. In Root, the battle is always resolved with a roll of dice between 0 and 3, with the result always geared to favour the attacker. The game is ultimately won by earning victory points. Players gain some victory points by destroying each other's buildings and tokens, by crafting item cards from their hands, but most of their victory points are earned by an area control mechanism which is unique to each faction. The first player to earn 30 victory points wins the game.
Each player has his or her own faction board, which details the unique sequence of actions he or she will take on each turn. Each player runs through all these actions from top to bottom before play passes to the next player clockwise, and this continues until a player has won the game.
All players can move, battle, and craft cards, but everything else, including how these basic actions are activated, is unique to each faction. Players share only about 30 to 40% of their rules in common with opponents, so the game has a steep learning curve. There are 4 factions in the base game, and an additional 2 factions which are more advanced to play in the Riverfolk expansion. Each has its own goals, which we'll summarise now. The Marquise de Cat is an industrial faction which gains victory points by building vast numbers of buildings out onto the map. The cat player needs to establish and defend a supply of wood for building, and needs to rule enough territory to have slots for all of the buildings to fit on the board. Each building provides ongoing benefits, so the wider the cat's network, the more quickly he or she can build more buildings. The Airy dynasties are aggressive warriors, and gain victory points by building roosts in clearings and then holding onto them, gaining additional points each round for the number of roosts they control. The Airy dynasties are action programmers, and with careful planning can build up an enormous suite of actions to take each round. But without careful planning will find themselves limited to too few actions to make real progress. The Woodland Alliance are resistance fighters, and they gain victory points by spreading sympathy tokens onto the map. They have a difficult time establishing a military presence, but once they have one, they can be difficult to remove, as they always have the advantage in battle, even when defending. Once the Alliance has some military power, it can ramp up the rate at which it spreads sympathy onto the board, and progresses towards victory. The Vagabond is a lone opportunist. Not interested in area control, the Vagabond gains points in various ways. By aiding other players, by battling other players, or by completing sets of quests. The Vagabond uses items to take actions, so the crux of the Vagabond's game is in trading for items with other players to gain more actions. With the Riverfolk expansion, 2 Vagabonds can play the game at the same time. The Lizard Cult from the expansion gains its victory points by building gardens, gaining points each round for the gardens it has on the map. The Lizard Cult is strong at recruiting followers, is limited in its military, and has powerful opportunities for revenge when defeated in battle. Finally, the Riverfolk Company, also from the expansion, are riverfaring merchants, and they gain their victory points by building trading posts on the board. They trade actively in cards and favours with other players in exchange for funds, which either earn victory points directly or can be used to build more trading posts.
All factions in Root have a ramp-up mechanism in their scoring, some more rapid than others, so the entire playing group has a collective learning curve in understanding when trailing players need to work together to stifle a winning player's progress, while still progressing their own individual games. This makes Root a game that is particularly rewarding once players have played multiple times. The game actively encourages aggressive play and table talk and open negotiation with opponents form key parts of advanced gameplay. And that's what to expect from Root, including the expansion.
We hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to learn the rules in detail, you can click the links in the description to check out our how to play videos for this game.
And you can click on the Meeple in the corner if you'd like to subscribe to our channel to hear more from Meeple University.